What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Outside Line Media. And there were penalties left and right, but eventually somebody had to kiss the bricks.
Gets the bricks. A great race at Indianapolis for the foreseeable future of the endurance format, endurance cup race.
Oh, God, I just realized. Can you imagine how many cautions we're going to have next year with the way the boys were behaving this year?
I think they're laying down the law. I think they're laying down the law. And Indy, as we'll talk about that, IMSA race control was not fucking around. They were handing out penalties left and right. Watching the live timing, it was just every couple seconds, drive through, stop plus 40,
Every
stop plus.
single time. Let me get the number right here. Um,
Either of the Porsche Penske's were just committing terrorism. The '08 Tower Motorsports and the '04 CrowdStrike were committing terrorism.
and then
Um,
which one is, why am I blanking on the car number? Give me 1 second. The 75 Express, the Sun Energy
I mean, they
75 Express. Every single time I saw that thing leave pit lane, the next lap I saw it leave pit lane again.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the picture because I thought I screenshotted it during the race. I guess I didn't. But at some point, a procedural thing, someone got a stop
Stop
plus
plus
2 minutes.
60.
It was stop was
Oh,
2 minutes and
stop
40
plus
seconds.
120. Yeah, I remember that one. I forget what that
I
was
think it was
for.
240. It was procedural, like pass through, pass around procedure. But yeah, race control was not planned. They laid down the wall, but it was a great race. We were there in person, got to watch it from I'd say probably 10 different spots we visited during the race.
And low
Um,
key, if they just covered the that like southwest vista right there in turn one of the road course, turn four of the oval, that would be the best place to watch it from.
oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Great race. Well, real quick, we'll go through all the winners. We'll go top five in each category. Why not have a day? I'm sure that's somehow getting it. But starting with GTP, Jack Aitken, Earl Bamber, and Frederick Vesti for Cadillac Wheeling get it done in a chaotic finish. Um, Ended under caution. Yes, yes, yes.
No,
No, we had basically a green white checkered. I forgot. Yes, green white checkered.
we
We
did
were
have a green white checker. um,
which is awesome.
Shout out to the number 10 Wayne Taylor Racing in second place. They really made the end of that. They're the reason the end of the race was interesting. Well, and
Yeah,
Toby Sowery, but for different reasons. Um,
yeah,
but I don't think they had the fuel to make it to the end. Honestly, I think they were in
no.
a fuck it, we ball. They just started pushing with like 20 minutes to go. They just started
Baller
pushing
move.
flat out. Ended up going from, I believe, fifth up to second in that push,
Yeah, and
because everyone
incredible.
else was fuel saving. That forced the number 31 to start pushing, the number 60 to start pushing. The 24 kind of just rolled over. The 24
Yeah,
was stuck on the fuel saving strategy.
yeah. They finished 7/10 behind third, but we'll get there. Number two, obviously Ricky Taylor, Felipe Albuquerque, and second with number 10. In third place, Tom Blomqvist and Colin Braun, and the number 60 Acura. Um, Great result for them, all things considered.
Yep.
In fourth place, the number 24, my boys Philip Bang and Dries Van Thor, number 24 BMW, and in fifth, my favorite name to say in the world, Ranger Van der Zan, Nick Yaloy, and Oda. I don't want to mispronounce names. I'm sorry.
Like Cal
With
Oda.
accurate, yeah, Cal Oda. I just hate. I don't like mispronouncing names, even though I do it criminally. But yeah,
American
that's
racing flag, by the way.
Um, that's top five in GTP. Going to LMP2, or as I like to call it, the terrorism division. My God, someone teach LMP2 drivers how to behave. Like, please, for the love of God, someone show them I mean, like when you go karting and it's your first time, they make you like watch a video. I think the LMP2 boys are due for a video.
We need to have Full Throttle send him the video.
Yeah. Like this is a yellow flag. This is a slower car. You actually have to go around them. You can't drive through them. This is someone you're trying to pass. If you leave the track and kill them, we will penalize you sometimes.
Yeah.
But LMP2 was won by the number 11 TDS Racing. In second, we have the number 43 Inter Europol. In third, we have the number 74 Riley. In fourth, the number 22 United Autosport. And in fifth, we have Spike, the number
Oh, the
99
devil
AO
himself is
Racing.
in P4. God. Dang it.
Who do
Paul
you hate so?
DeResta.
Oh. What's your hate for Paul DeResta?
Nothing. It's just funny.
You know what? Hell yeah.
I
Moving
hated
on
I hated
to
his F1, like his F1 TV and Sky Sports stuff. He always had the
that's
worst
fair.
takes.
That's fair. Moving on to the GTD Pro category. I would let you read this, Patrick, since I've read everything else, but I need to say this with
I
my
know you
chest.
need to say
The
it.
number 64 Ford Multimatic Mustang got done. And what must I say? If you would have had a camera focused on the 64, the greatest battle. I mean, hats off to Lauren Heinrich and AO Racing. They got screwed in a wreck.
By
To
like
put
3
themselves in a bad
wrecks in the
spot.
last stint. Yeah, they just got
Yeah,
bullied in the last stint.
bully balled out. But them in the 64 battled for legitimately, I think, like 3 hours. They were just
Yeah,
nose
it
to
was
bumper.
it was constantly me and Ryan just yelling at each other because I was of
Like
course cheering for the 77 and he was cheering for the 64.
yeah,
I mean it was a great battle. I mean,
oh
eventually,
yeah,
I mean, I think once the like Lauren Heinrich when he was in front, it wasn't a problem. He was able to defend really well. That's something Lauren Heinrich does very well. I think that the BOP kind of fucked them once the 64 got by. I mean, they just did not have the speed on the straights.
yeah. They didn't have
Um,
the long run
let
speed.
me let me let me pull up the quote real quick. I think Ryan knows what I'm pulling up. Lauren Heinrich had some words to say. Finish out the top 5.
Yeah, finish out top 5. In second, Dragon Speed continues their great campaign with a second place finish, the number 81. In third, the number 48, Paul Miller. They look good all day. Paul Miller's been looking good, obviously. In fourth, the number 3, Corvette by Pratt Miller. And in fifth, the number 14, Vassar Sullivan Racing.
Lauren Heinrich's running the Indy 8-hour with Wright Motorsport.
Oh,
This is
dude,
my
hell yeah.
dream crossover, dude.
That is really your dream crossover. That's awesome.
So it's um Adam Adelson, Elliot Skier, and Lauren Heinrich
It's a pretty stacked lineup.
for the Indy 8-hour. We'll be at the Indy 8-hour. Also announcement now, we'll be at Petit Le Mans.
Oh, yeah, we'll be at Petit Le Mans. Got to do it. We'll be there with Podium Pop, Marley, and I'm sure other people.
Yeah.
That's the main crew, though.
So here's Lauren Heinrich's quote from the battle on the bricks. This must have been the most frustrating weekend. Once again, because we have absolutely no pace, we find ourselves in a fuel gamble at the end, which did not work out. We were trying everything to keep the championship hopes alive, but there is no chance if you get eaten up on the straights. And not only that, but you're also the heaviest car on the grid. The icing on the cake was to get crashed out 3 times in my final stint. This is not the series or sport I fell in love with. Thanks to all Rexy fans, my supporters, my family, girlfriend, and friends who support us no matter what. I know what I and my team are capable of, and eventually this will make me even stronger. The best is yet to come.
Yeah, Porsche's making power moves PR wise to get this stuff sorted out.
That
Threats
doesn't
of
seem like a
leaving.
PR statement from Lauren Heinrich.
I don't know, brother. Based off what Porsche themselves has been saying about the
That's
BOP, which
true.
understandably so, they clearly overcorrected. But yeah, I'll let Patrick do GTD.
Yay! Oh, yes. So the car in P1 that won was the number 70 Ferrari 296 from Inception Racing. P2, the local boys. We had Wright Motorsports in the 120 Porsche 911. Then Conquest Racing, Ryan, just off the podium. Turner Motorsports in P4. And then Windward Racing in P5.
I don't know what happened. They must have gotten past right at the end because I went to the podium
It must have been on the
legitimately thinking
restart.
Turner Motorsports had wrapped it up. I went to the podium being like, I get to see Turner, right? And the 64, but no, I didn't. But still, good night, good day from them, good racing. So now we move on to this is the ultimate. Is penultimate the last one or ultimate? What do you call it?
Penultimate is the second to last one.
So this was the penultimate race. Now we're
No,
going on to the
yeah,
final race.
yes.
So I was trying to think of a fancy word to say. I'm not sophisticated. We move on to the final race of the scalender. I was trying to say schedule and calendar in the same word. Petit Le Mans, which, as we said, we'll be at. And the championship is pretty spicy in 3 of the classes.
I have it printed out.
Check your email. I have it on my second monitor. So we're just going to go through and we'll talk about basically who's mathematically in it, and who's realistically in it.
Yeah,
And then we'll get.
so
Oh, let's first start. Sorry. Get to ours. Let's look how our predictions did.
oh yeah,
And then
yeah.
we'll move on. We can put Indy behind us. In our hearts, it's always there. The 64-1. Mike Rockenfeller's a god, by the way. I just want everyone to know that. And there wasn't enough Rocky chance at the podium. Patrick had left already because he's a hater. And he
Yeah.
wanted to get home on time. Boo hoo. I was the only guy that screamed Rocky. I felt stupid. He walked down the podium. I screamed Rocky, thinking someone else would surely say it with me. Nobody. I was the only one granted, Rocky wasn't driving the car at the end, but Rocky's the reason they won that incredible middle stint he drove. But yes, Patrick, how did your GTP predictions do?
I got all of them except for once. I decided to not predict the number 6 Porsche Penske I decided to predict them as the winner. They at least weren't the worst Porsche Penske. That was the number 7. The only GTP to finish off the lead lap. I had the number 10 Wayne Taylor Racing hit the apex. Obviously, P2 to hit the apex, especially for Caddy. And I had the number 63 Lamborghini missing the apex.
Oh yeah, I had the number 6 missing the apex. I don't know if we ever discussed this, but I gave it to myself. If you're a championship leader, finishing 7th in the penultimate race is bad.
Yeah,
that's bad. I don't care about BOP. That's bad. They also did it themselves because they were committing terrorism.
It wasn't the number 7 committing terrorism. Like, the number 7 was bad. The only reason they didn't finish on the lead lap was because they kept getting drive-throughs.
What about LMP2? Did you get anything, Pat?
I had the number 11 TDS Racing hit the apex. They won. So
yep, that's it. The apex.
And then I had the number 73 Pratt Miller Racing hit the apex.
Moving on. I had the number 8 Tower Motorsports missing the apex. They finished in 7th.
Didn't they commit terrorism right there at the end too?
Yeah.
But they didn't get penalized for it, right? That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yes,
I don't think they completely missed the apex. Literally.
Yeah, they literally missed the apex.
Yeah, and then wiped out another car.
Yep. Finished the lap down. And how about GTD Pro, Patrick? How'd you do?
I had the number 81 Dragon Speed hitting the apex.
Yeah, I also had that. I swept GTD Pro this week. I got every single category correct. I had the number 64 Ford Multimatic Mustang winning, the number 81 Dragon Speed hitting the apex, and the number 77 AO Racing missing the apex, which we discussed this. So we gave this to me. I don't remember why, but we did.
I think it's because I got either the Lamborghini or the Pratt.
Yeah, it was something. It was an exchange student. What about GTD? Did you get anything? I didn't.
I had number 120 right hit the apex.
Hell yeah, and they did hit the apex. It's a good race from them. So that's Indy. Great race. I'm sure you can watch the recap if you want to watch the whole race if you really like. It's great sleeping noise. A masterclass as always from IMSA.
Let me just say, this was my first time hearing it in person. The Aston Martin Hyper.
Oh my lord!
Oh
it's
my
insane.
God! Coming out of the
pits. This is also my first time hearing.
Yeah, because they came in Sebring, right? Was their first
they were not running. They were not running in Daytona this year. And the thing that amazed me most, the leaving the pit noise, you knew it when they were leaving. But the downshifts on that car just
right there at the end of the back straight. Oh,
I looked feral every time they downshift. I would look at Patrick. And be like, bow, bow, bow.
We were walking across the walkover bridge, the little Verizon bridge that they have, and Ryan just turned around to me. Also, crazy that those cars produce so much turbulent air. I felt at one point the bridge lift up a little bit.
It shook the bridge. It's crazy.
Yeah, that thing just sounded, and with the concrete walls on both sides at IMS, it just kind of echoes that little bit.
It's good, beautiful. I can't wait to hear it again.
The sound. Let me just tell you, if you go to the Battle on the Bricks, sit at least for a little bit, just right there at the end of the pit straight on the front straight. The sound of those cars screaming down the front straight is insane.
It's ridiculous. So yeah, we're gonna look at the championship standings now. Going into Petit Le Mans, and we'll touch even more on this in a video right before Petit Le Mans, making our predictions and such. But we're just gonna go category by category, and we'll talk about how is it looking going into the last round. So starting with GTP, Patrick, I'll let you get the prototypes, and I'll take the GT's
All
cars
right.
because that is our particular tism.
Yeah.
So
So, Porsche Penske in first place. The number 6 is 131 points clear of P2. Basically, the number 6 needs to just not have a horrible race, and they have the championship. Max points of 385 in each race, 35 points if you qualify on pole position, 350 points if you win the race. And then minimum we set of like realistically like 220 points. 200 points is like a go-to minimum. So as long as Porsche Penske doesn't finish like bottom 3 with the number 6, then they're pretty safe with winning the championship. The number 7 is another 14 points behind. Or sorry, the number 7 is in second place, 131 points behind. The number 24 BMW Team RLL car could definitely catch P2 in the championship.
they're the last, I'd say, outside chance of winning.
Yeah,
Because they have had races this year where like in Road America, they cleared both the BMW, both the Porsches by over 160.
yeah.
So if you redo Road America, so it is possible. I'd say the last one's mathematically really now mathematically. I think the number 93 is in
I
it,
think
but
the
if you were
93 is mathematically in it, and the number 10 is mathematically in it.
but I
That
mean
would require the
we're
number
talking
6 to not qualify for the race, I believe.
yeah, if everything starts, I'd say the BMW is really the only outside shot, and they need Porsche Penske to have a bad day because they had a bad day in Indy, and BMW not getting a win obviously gained 90 on the 7 and 36 on the number 6. So
Yeah, the
they're
24 would
definitely
need
in
to
it,
win
but
the
it's
T
a stretch. They need to win with them having a not great day.
Yeah.
Straight up. So that's definitely obviously that's what I want.
I mean, the
I'm
battle for second, though,
on the
is
pod. I'm biased. On the pod, I'm biased. I ain't gonna lie.
the battle for second, though, is a really tight battle. It's only
Yes.
about 100 points separating P2 from P5. So really,
Yeah.
in that, it's anyone's game. So
Yeah. That should be really interesting.
we will see how
Looking
that
at that,
wraps up. I think if I have to put a prediction out there right now, I'm saying the number 6 is winning the championship.
and I'm gonna say the number 24 is winning the championship.
Yeah, that's just copium.
It's been done this year. The points gap. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. I'll take it. I want
Yeah.
LMP too, Patrick.
Yep. AO Racing is in first right now, 85 points clear of United Autosports, number 22 in P2. They, in turn, are 96 points clear of the number 74 in P3.
Yep.
I do not know what team that is. It's cut off on my sheet.
Riley.
Riley. Okay. Cool. Great name, guys. And then only 6 points separate Riley from TDS Racing in P4.
And 7 inter Europol. So fourth and fifth are separated by 1 point.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. So that it's definitely wide open. I think that's another situation where Riley's an outside chance. Really would need.
Even United's a pretty outside chance with it being a spec series and you don't have BOP to help. United would have to win. And I mean,
Yeah, and I
AO
mean,
would have
I'm
to
looking at
finish down in
these.
like
Looking at these,
P6.
there's very rarely more than 100-point swing.
Yeah.
And that's only like the best to the worst, basically. So definitely gonna be. I mean, I think AO has this as long as they stay their nose clean, but it's definitely not safe. But
And as
85
long
is
as they don't
pretty
have a
healthy.
mechanical issue, that was their problem. And they would have won Daytona if they didn't have that alternator belt shred.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. I mean, that's going to haunt them because that was a 100-point swing. Because United Autosport, I think, won that with 385 points.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, that's
AO would have this mathematically wrapped up basically if
that's a
they
100-point
made
swing they had
Daytona.
there. Well, not a 100-point swing, but you know what I mean. They ended up being. Um, but definitely still tight competition. I think mathematically the top five are still in it, but it's really the top two, them and United Autosport. And United Autosport needs to win, basically, clearing pretty well because we know Spike's going to run good. So
And we
it's
know
definitely going to be.
qualifying, they're going to get good points in qualifying.
So I'd say my prediction is going to be Spike.
Yeah, I
For
don't.
this.
I think it's a really low chance that United is able to pull out a dub on this championship.
Yeah, but it would be cool, right? Still gonna be a great watch, great category to watch, and something to keep your eye on. So moving into GTD Pro, the Corvette by Pratt Miller is in the lead, but it is tight. They are 18 points clear of Dragon Speed, who has been on just top form as of late. Dragon Speed has seemed like, let me just read their past three. Let's go four. From CTMP, 371 points, 335 points, 355 points, 345 points. That's ridiculous. They're on great form right now. And I mean, they've only been under 300 twice this year. So if they keep that pace, Pratt Miller has had some slips in races, but they've kind of been pacing Dragon Speed. So it's definitely going to be, keep an eye on them. You know what I mean? That's going to be the battle.
It's definitely going to be a close race.
It's definitely a two-man run. As much as I'd love Ford Multimatic to win it in 64, they're 169 points off the lead. They would need some really bad days from the people ahead of them, and I mean really bad days, which obviously it happens, but those two teams have been pretty dialed on. And I mean, they both
Yeah,
looked pretty
I think
good.
the one issue I see is Dragon Speed seems to be losing out the most points on endurance rounds. Indy being the outsider of 320.
I just don't think that's fair because they've
It's
stepped
been
on the
end of the
gas.
season, yeah.
They've been on the up. Like they didn't have a great showing in
Like Daytona and Sebring
Daytona,
weren't
but
bad with
they
250
did
and
pretty good in
280,
Sebring.
but
You're 269 and 315.
yeah,
They got
sorry, I was just
315.
looking at race result.
Um, and like other than that, they've been pretty on the up and up on almost all endurance races. So I think it's hard to
They
say how
just
they'll do.
sucked
The
at
cars,
Detroit.
yeah,
Jesus.
the cars looked great. Definitely. If I had to make a prediction, my heart says 64, but mathematically, I have to go Dragon Speed. They've been on top form lately, and I think they can get this. What do you think?
I I don't know because the Corvette's been equally as good. I feel like I feel like it's been less kind of pronounced because they had a really good start to the season. Of course, it looks like if I'm doing the math correctly here. P2 in Daytona, followed up with a not great result in Sebring. Laguna, they had a good result. Detroit, they had a good result. The Glen, they had a good result. CTMP, they had a decent result. Road America,
Decent. VIR
yeah.
good. Indy decent.
VIR, they won. Indy, decent. I think that Corvette's been more consistent across the season. And I think that'll ultimately help them in an endurance round at the end of the season. I think that consistency is really going to pay off.
Yeah, I think just because if Dragon Speed had a good
I also
Daytona
think the
and
number
had
three wouldn't hesitate to crash out the number 81 to win a championship.
that is also very true. It should be interesting. That'll be, I think, the battle to follow of the race in
I
general
don't know,
because of
man.
that
The GTD champion. Oh wait, no, the GTD championship is
wrapped up.
yeah.
We'll just wrap up. But yeah, I think that's gonna be the battle to watch. It's gonna be awesome. But I mean, how cool is it that this many teams are still in it in a no gimmicks championship system?
But
Just
there's
something
still
to think
like
about.
there's still 12 drivers in the NASCAR championship.
Moving on, last but least, actually, in GTD, the number 57 Windward has a 224-point lead over Harder Racing. If
Mathematically not possible.
if they start this race, they just drive, they can.
I don't know.
I
It
mean,
goes all
they
the way
did
down to
have
20. There will probably be
in
at
Glen. They had a
least.
horrible night in Glen because they crashed. 178 points. I mean, they would need a generational bad race and harder racing to have a generationally good race, but it's pretty tight. And after that, it's 62 points to Vassar Sullivan, and then you're talking Turner Motorsports is 50 back basically from there, 56. I think the battle to watch is really the 3, 4, 5. In fifth, you got Wright, 25 points behind Turner, who is, as I said, 50 points more Vassar Sullivan. That could be a tight battle for a podium. That definitely could get.
Especially coming off of an endurance round where Vassar was good, not great. Where did they finish in Indy?
I definitely closed my results tab because it's full screened.
I know it wasn't bad enough to be a Misty Apex because I had them as my
Yeah, I
Misty
think
Apex.
they were just a middle of the road run.
But Turner and Wright both in the top 5. Turner with a P2, or sorry, Wright with a P2.
Turner the P4.
Really interesting battle to see. I could definitely
That'd
see.
be the battle to watch. I'd say is that mid pack. Also, I mean, not that seventh and eighth mattered, but is a 30-point gap between the AWA Corvette and Inception Racing Ferrari.
Also,
Inception.
just found out. Yeah, we just mentioned Indy 8 hour. Lauren Heinrich's going to be running that with Wright Motorsport, actually, which happy boy. We'll be doing a special edition series on our Instagram for the Indy 8 hour as that comes up. That's going to be the weekend after Petit Le Mans. We'll be coming back from Atlanta and then the next Saturday going straight back to Indianapolis, back home again in Indiana.
Back home again in Indiana.
Confirmed today that BMW will be in IMSA next year with Team WRT.
Great for the sport. Having WEC and IMSA programs combined. That's a good thing. I don't think you can spin that any way other than good. It's great for the sport. More teams hopefully follow suit and have that parity between the two series, and hopefully they get their regs closer and their BOP closer to where it's
but that means
easier
that
for
we
the
either
teams.
lose Joe to Cadillac or we lose Wayne Taylor Racing Cadillac.
They can both have them. Why not? Make them both. Why
We do
not
have
have a day?
Whalen in both series.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
already. But hopefully more manufacturers follow this. It should be cool. I hate to say RLL go, but anyways,
I don't think they will go. Even if it's not next season, they might take a break, which we've heard the rumors of what they might do, taking a break. Possible next NASCAR Xfinity program, possible NASCAR Trucks program. They're not going to fire those people at the factory. They're going to find a series to race in.
yeah, and if not too long ago, IMSA on their YouTube put out a video of Marshall Pruitt touring RLL's new facility, their IndyCar and IMSA
The one that
facility,
got raided by the
and
FBI.
probably the same one. It's a state of the art facility, really cool design concept where it's basically just like very open, very like everything's right where you need it. Nice little assembly line system. So it's cool to look. They're not going to waste that space.
I wouldn't
There'll
be
be a car in there.
surprised if maybe as a holdover they decided to see if they could get another 2 Acura entries. Because Acura only has the factory teams right now, right? If I remember correctly, they only have
For what?
MSR,
For what class?
GTP.
Yeah, I think it's only Meyer Shank.
There's obviously already that connection with Honda Performance through IndyCar with RLL, so that's a possibility. Interesting thing I saw the other day was a NASCAR job with a HRC header on it. I'm guessing that had to do with an IMSA job, though, just because I think a lot of times those are advertised under NASCAR.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe Honda's leaving IndyCar to go to NASCAR for some reason.
Which would be redonkulous, honestly.
Um,
But yeah, should be good. We'll have one more video before Petit Le Mans, going over our predictions, and I think in there we'll put our predictions for the championship winner. Maybe just some extra points spiced on top. Why not? We'll see what we do. We did have full season predictions that we made, so we could also go off those. But what's the fun in that? We can just cherry pick the last race of the year. We'll be at Petit Le Mans. We'll be making obviously some content while we're there. I'm really, really, really excited. I'm gonna see the big sniffer one more time. Get to hear that beautiful Valkyrie scream. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
looking forward to
NASCAR,
it.
NASCAR racing this weekend. There's some motorcycle racing. I think you said, Patrick.
Yeah, MotoGP's racing this weekend. Their championship's already wrapped
F1,
up.
F1's racing. Yeah, so it should be
F4
a good weekend.
should be a good weekend. And then we get two sports car races in a row. So I will take
Yep.
that. We get two endurance races in a row. Let's go. 10-hour
Good
into an
day.
8-hour. I'll take that.
Good time. Good time to be alive. I'll tell you that.
All right, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Peace.